So that's right, it doesn't matter if it was a compilation, studio album, live album, or anything else. As long as it's on vinyl and it was released in 2019 and I bought it, we're going to talk about it today. So hello and yes, welcome back to another video, guys. Now I believe this is my first video since Christmas. Thinking about it, I'm pretty confident it's my first video since Christmas. So I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas to start with. It's crazy how this year's gone by, that Christmas is done now. We're racing on to New Year's. It's absolutely crazy. I apologise if I look a mess. It's very warm in my house at the minute. The lighting is crap because it's grey and miserable outside, so I can't even open the window because it's freezing. I've got a terrible ear infection. So I honestly, I feel a bit of a mess right now. But hey ho, we're going to do the video anyway because I didn't want to wait till we're in 2020 to do this video. I wanted to get this video up during 2019 still. And we are still in 2019, thank God, because it feels like time is going so quick at the minute. So yeah, this is just my annual video like I do every year. I do my worst best studio albums that were released in that year, so it'd be 2019 obviously. I do my predictions for what I want to see in the following year, 2020, and I show you every record I bought in 2019 because I don't think we should just reflect on the studio albums, even though they are the highlights for me and the more exciting things. I thought it'd be cool, you know, I've done this for a few years now, about 3 years I think. This might be my 4th time doing this. It's just talking about other things that released, reissues, box sets, studio albums, compilations, live albums, blah, 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 blah. So that's what I've done. I've pulled out every record that I got in 2019. I'm sure I've missed a couple. I'm sure I have. And if there's a big one that I've missed, I'm sure people will let me know in the comments below. But these are ones that I've picked up. So without further ado, we're just going to go through them. I'm going to give you a quick brief summary on them. It's just a little fun video, you know. So let's get started. So the first item up is my Beatles Abbey Road 50th anniversary box set. This is the only Beatle item I picked up this year. I didn't get the singles box. It didn't interest me. Was there another Beatle release this year? I don't think so. I think it was just those two. But I picked this up because Abbey Road is my favourite album ever. I love this record, and to hear Giles Martin's reissue of it was fantastic. So I got the nice triple LP box. There's a load of bonus stuff on it, which is interesting. And yeah, great job they done on this, and I'm looking forward to the final one next year. We'll let it be, and I'll be curious to see, because once that's out of the way, you know, they're gonna want some more money coming off Beatles stuff because the box sets would have stopped. And do you reckon they're gonna go back and do everything before Sgt. Pepper? That'll be interesting. Next up is going to be Aurora. So this is her EP from 2018, but they'd never released it on vinyl in 2018. But I released it on vinyl in 2019. So here it is. I forget that this is Infections of a Different Kind. I love this EP. It's fantastic. I love Aurora, as you guys know. And coming up next is her studio album from 2019, A Different Kind of Human. So this is the one I picked up when I discovered Aurora, because I didn't know her coming into 2019. She's one I discovered during 2019, discovered her just after this album was released, so I immediately picked it up. This is my favourite album of the year, studio album. I loved it. It's experimental, it's creative, and it doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. It's unique and amazing. And I picked up another copy when I went to go see her in concert because it is signed. She signed it backstage right before she came out on stage, and I managed to snag a copy. So, really cool. Next up is the only record from this artist, and this artist has been slacking the last couple of years. This guy was releasing like 3 records minimum a year for like 4 years on the trot. And the last couple of years, he's literally just released, I think he released 2 albums last year. And only the one this year, and that's Joe Bonamassa. This year we got a live album. This is live at the Sydney Opera House. Don't get me wrong, artists are allowed to take a bit of time off, but it's a bit like, I used to like getting like 4 releases from Joe Bonamassa a year. But this was amazing. This was a really, really good live album. I'd actually say it might be my second favourite live album from Joe now. After the live at Carnegie Hall one, I think it is, that I really like. Yes, An Acoustic Evening, which came out 3 years ago, I think now. Next up, we got Lewis Capaldi, debut album. You know, very, very cool new singer-songwriter. The A-side to this record's really good. The B-side is kind of far away. The only release from this guy as well this year. Normally this guy likes to release a couple items a year, but only one this year again, but it was a really cool one. Eric Clapton. Finally, he's going back and reissuing a couple of those CDs that never got put on vinyl. This is the live album, One More Car, One More Rider from 2001. And this is one killer live album. It's fantastic. If you haven't heard this, go check it out. It's incredible. I love the little reggae twist he does on Tears in Heaven. It's fantastic. And this was the Record Store Day item from 2019. So, yeah. But of course, like nearly every Record Store Day item, it ends up on Amazon eventually, so you can get it. So I won't stress about it too much. Next up, another new studio album from this year. It's the Claypool Lennon Delirium. Now, we all know Mr. Claypool, fantastic bassist. And Lennon, of course, being Sean Lennon, John Lennon's son that he had with Yoko Ono. And, yeah, this is a really good album. It's not great, but I talked about it in my ranking this year. It has some real down moments, but the high moments are like so high. It's amazing. And it really feels like a 70s record. It's got that real classic Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Beatwish sound. So if you want to have a real nice throwback album, that's the one to go for. And of course, you Beatle fans should love it because it's got Sean Lennon at the vocals, so it kind of sounds like John Lennon a bit. Next up, we've got Coldplay's new album, Everyday Life. I'd say this is the most disappointing album for me this year. It still ended up being number 7 in my ranking, out of my 17 records, I think it was I got. 16 or 17. So it done really well still, but it should have been a top 5 and it just wasn't. There's too much filler on here. There's some moments where you just do kind of go, come on, let's get going, let's get going. And then we got another 2 studio albums here to go over quickly. Don't worry, there's 2 big piles here. It's not all going to be the studio albums. It's not going to be talking about the same albums that I just talked about for the whole video. Billie Eilish, the debut album. I'd heard a couple songs off the EP recent years. They didn't blow me away. I have picked the EP up this year that she released in 2017, I think it was. And it's good, but it didn't wow me. But this album did wow me. She captured a unique sound and she found her own sound. And it's unlike anything I've ever heard. And it's without a doubt one of the most unique things to come out of music this year. And I think anyone who denies its creativity and quite downright brilliancy is, you might want to tune your ears. Next up is going to be Jeff Lindsay Hello with their new album. I wasn't really expecting a new album from them this year. Although I went back and looked at my prediction video from 2018 of what I wanted in 2019. I did talk about Jeff Lindsay Hello. Although at the same time in my head, I think I was doing that just because I'm guessing maybe I didn't have as many predictions last year. Because I really didn't think we'd get this. But you know what? Well, hey, we got a new album from them. It's good, but not great. Again, I talked about it in my last video and there's a full in-depth review on it. So I'm not going to go into that one at all. Next up is another Record Store Day item that I really wanted, and my very good friend in America, vinyl collector James, who has just posted his 50 best albums of the year 2 videos. Go check them out. They're really good, really entertaining. I loved the second part, James, by the way, because there was a load of albums in that part that I knew. But yeah, he got me this, Fleetwood Mac, the alternative of the self-titled album. Every year, Fleetwood Mac release one of these. Really hoping we get Rumours this year because it's the only one from that classic period of Fleetwood Mac that we're now missing. We've got Tusk, Mirage, and Tango in the Night, and now the self-titled. So we need Rumours. It's a good listen. Good listen. I enjoyed it very much. Okay, we're going into the Paul McCartney stuff now because Paul McCartney's had a busy year. Last year we had Egypt Station. This year we got the Explorers edition of Egypt Station, which is exactly the same. There's just a bonus record in here with, I'm not going to lie, a load of filler and fluff on it. Nothing really blew me away on the bonus record. But also in the back of here, I did put the 7-inch single that was released on the Black Friday Record Store Day. Home Tonight and In a Hurry. I really like the track Home Tonight. I thought that was a really good song. In a Hurry was a bit of a mess. But, yeah, so some more McCartney stuff. It almost feels like we got an album with that B-side and these 2 songs. So, he's been a busy boy again. And of course we got some more reissues. No archives, which is weird because I was very certain we'd either get Flaming Pie, would get another double pack of London Town or Back to the Egg in November. But we didn't. That was a bit of a shame. But hey ho, we got these instead. And I'm a big fan of these colour vinyls. I know some people don't like them. But I love the randomness of it. You don't know what ones he's going to come out with next. I really like that. I just really enjoy it. And I like the weird, wacky choices that he comes up with. Because the first one I have to show you is Chopper B CCCP, which I was not expecting. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of this album. But to hear it remastered was really nice. Because this album has never been pressed well. But this one sounds beautiful. And it gave a bit of a fresh life to this album. And I kind of appreciated it a bit more. This is really cool. McCartney tends to release a really rare album or reissue a really rare album and mixed all of these. And he did Poise Live so people could finally get hold of this. I'm lucky enough to have an original. But I still picked this up anyway because I don't like playing the original because I'm scared of damaging it. And this one is going to sound better. It's remastered. So, yeah, really nice. And these are all the coloured ones. The last one was on yellow. This is on baby blue and peachy white vinyl. This one here come out a bit later. This is the Linda McCartney Wild Prairie. I think that's how you say it. Wild Prairie. I was always saying it wrong in all the old videos. And someone pointed it out to me. I think I was saying I don't know how I was saying it. But I know that I was saying this album's title wrong for the longest time. Even in my unboxing of this video, I was getting the title wrong. I'm still probably saying it wrong now. But anyway, there we go. And this one is on a milk and blue vinyl. And this is the first time for me. I actually never owned this one because I figured McCartney ain't doing lead vocals. So I didn't worry about getting the original with that one too much. Not gonna lie, it was okay. It was fine. But it didn't blow me away. And the last one up, I didn't get the Wings Over America colour vinyl triple six. That was released this year. Because I have that on the archive edition. But I did pick this one up. First time on vinyl. The entire full-length Amoeba Gig vinyl. Or Amoeba Gig. Clear and amber vinyl. And this was a really good listen. This was a really good live album. Can't believe in a way it's taken him that long to release that. Because that is hands down one of his best live concerts. Okay, so coming away from McCartney, going back into some other stuff here. We got Girl by Maren Morris. A new studio album from 2019, which I really enjoyed. Modern American country. And it sounds really good. I like it. I'm a fan of it. It's nothing amazing, but it's very innocent and I enjoy it. And I look forward to seeing what she does next. Joanne Shaw Taylor's new studio album. This is Reckless Heart. Probably her weakest studio album to date. It's not bad, but it's a little bit empty feeling, a little bit lifeless. Okay, back to back, we've got the only two studio albums that were released this year that I didn't like. We've got Labyrinth, Sia, and Diplo present LSD. I'm a Sia fan. I like her a lot. So I picked this up. I liked one track on here, Thunderclouds. Other than that, this album really sucked. But I managed to get this for, I think it was £8. So yeah, I managed to get this one for £8. And the nice thing about it, it's on a really pretty vinyl. So that's pretty much why I picked that one up. That was not a priority this year at all. This one kind of was, though, because I'm a completist and I love the Beatles. I did pick up Ringo Starr's new album. This is What's My Name? And I went over this in my album ranking video of the year. So if you want to see my thought, if you haven't watched that and you want to see my thoughts on this album more, as to why I absolutely hated this album, go check it out. Go check it out, because I really didn't like that album. The auto-tuning, that's the word I couldn't remember in the video, on Ringo's vocals is terrible and the production is awful. Don't get me wrong, I know what you're getting into with Ringo. I know you're getting very simple songs, but they can be fun. But the life is completely sucked out of them because of the auto-tuning and the production. The record sounds awful. And it's not the vinyl pressing or anything. It is purely down to the production. I've heard them on Spotify as well. The album just sounds like total trash. There we go. Going into a good album here. This one's going to surprise people. People are going to be shocked that I bought this. But I've explained myself enough. Harry Styles, this is Fine Line. I love this record. Get past the fact that he was in One Direction. He's come out One Direction and he's doing a great job as a solo artist. This album's amazing. The best song on here for me easily is Treat People With Kindness. And I also love Watermelon Sugar, the second single from the album. Really great record there. Really great. And here we got 10 Tons, who someone commented on my last video. I can't remember whether it was brother or cousin, but he's related to Shawn Mendes, which is pretty cool. I don't mind Shawn Mendes. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not buying his records, I'll tell you that much. But I've got nothing against the guy. But 10 Tons, this was a pretty cool record. And he's a local guy. He was literally at a festival I was at a few months ago in Hartford. He's about 15 minutes away from me. And it was a decent record. For decent first record. Hopefully the next one he kind of finds himself a bit more. Next up, weren't expecting an album from this band again, but, you know, they chucked one out, and it was pretty good. Who is the name of the album, and it's by The Who. So, yeah, this was a good album. I thought it was, yeah, it surprised me. Their last couple albums, for me, really haven't liked. So to get this one, which was pretty good, it's like 7 out of 10 record, I had a good time with it. Very pleased they put another record out. Next up, we got Beth Hart, which was a huge surprise. She's the female Joe Bonamassa. You know, quite rightfully so. She's great, really is. And this is her best album, a lot of people tell me. This is her Blues of Desperation. So I was pleased I picked it up, and it is a really good record. As those of you who have seen my album ranking of the year will know. Then here we got Keane's new album, Cause and Effects, which I really, really loved. You know, I think on release everyone was a bit let down because the singles tricked everyone, I think. But as I say, I think if anyone goes back to this album now and listens to it with a more open mind, knowing what to expect, I think you'll find that it's actually a lot better than you remember or think it is. And it really deserves to be in everyone's top 10s of the year because it's a very solid album. Next up, we got Liam Gallagher, which was a huge surprise. Why me, why not? Again, I've talked about this in my last video. I weren't expecting to like that one much. I was expecting it to be a very throwaway album, but it was pretty good. So on to more interesting things. Noel Gallagher, and I don't mean that as in Noel's better than Liam, blah, blah, blah. I mean that as in, I've already talked about this album to death. I've even reviewed that one. Noel Gallagher, I've barely talked about him this year, because he hasn't been doing albums, he's been doing EPs. So the first one that come up was a Record Store Day release. What did he call this one? Turn it back. Oh, Wait and Return EP, this one. It's just remixes of She Taught Me to Fly, Keep On Reaching, and Black and White Sunshine, which is I'm not sure where that song's from. Whether it's a B-side of one of the previous 12-inch singles. Whether that is just limited to here. This is on a cool colour vinyl. And yeah, I think that was Noel testing the waters for these EPs, and he's decided, well, hey, I'm going to just start releasing them now. And he was planning to release 3. The third one isn't out yet. The third one you'll see in one of my future vinyl updates when it is released, and you'll see it in my end of 2020 video. But the first one up was Black Star Dancing, which is my preferred one out of the 2 that we've got so far. This was a really good EP. I really enjoyed this one. I got the coloured version of this one. It doesn't say what colour it was. I think it's pink. And I loved all 3 songs on here. I really did. Black Star Dancing, Rattling Rose, and Sail On. Sail On was actually probably my favourite. Really enjoyed that. Next one I went full on and got the picture disc for, and I'm really happy because Noel has been releasing these amazing covers for his EPs lately, and his 12-inch singles from Who Built the Moon. And this one's my favourite one. That is This Is the Place. Not a big fan of the song. I think it's very average, but I love A Dream Is All I Need to Get By, and Evil Flower is fantastic. Very creative, very psychedelic, and I love it. And as I say, I got this one on the picture disc, and it's beautiful. It really is. And I love how they all match. All of the text on the spine is at the same height. The backs are all the same. You always have the title up there. Even all the 12-inch singles that Noel Gallagher's released. I do plan to eventually do a Noel Gallagher collection video, just purely him, no Oasis, no Liam. And you'll see all the 12-inch singles together there, and they look spectacular when you got them all together. So that's it for all of the album stuff. Now I've just got some soundtracks. And this one only come today, and this is the last record from 2019 for me. It's the one I was waiting for to do this video. It turned up this morning. I was like, boom, I can film my video. Let's go, let's do this. And that is the soundtrack from Mondo for Thor Ragnarok. I love this film. I love the soundtrack. Taika Waititi is an incredible director. I just went to see his new film, Jojo Rabbit. It was fantastic. But anyway, enough of that. I love the soundtrack to this. I love this film. I love it so, so much. So I've been wanting them to release the soundtrack on vinyl ever since the film was released. They've finally done it with Mondo. It's on a beautiful colour vinyl. It's the third Marvel one, because Mondo are planning to release every Marvel soundtrack on vinyl. Whew, money, money, money. And they started off this year. That was the third one. They also released Black Panther, which is probably my favourite score from Marvel. I'm not one of these biased Marvel or Black Panther fans who thinks it's the best Marvel film I've done. I like Black Panther. It's a good film, but I don't love it. In my ranking, it falls around the middle of the Marvel films. But I like it. It's a good film. But the soundtrack to it is easily the highlight. It is the best thing in this film. It is the best Marvel soundtrack, I think. The soundtrack is incredible. They released this one on a triple vinyl set. If you go back to, not my last vinyl update, but the one before, you'll see me unbox this one in its full glory. Because this is a beautiful set on black and grey vinyl. And it's amazing. They've done such a nice job with that one. But the first one they released, Mondo, was for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Because they released this right after the film's release. The film was released in 2018, right at the end of 2018. This came out right at the start of 2019. Yeah, it was 2019. Just had to check the date there. This came out right at the start of 2019. So when this came out, Ant-Man and the Wasp was still Marvel's last film. It came out just before Captain Marvel, which was the 2019 release. So yeah, it looks like they're just going backwards at the minute from Ant-Man and the Wasp. In terms of solo films, it's like they've skipped Infinity War. So I'm guessing next up will be Spider-Man Homecoming. Then Guardians 3, then Doctor Strange. So, hey, it's very cool. I look forward to getting the Guardians of Doctor Strange one. Because I've actually already got... They released part of the Homecoming soundtrack on vinyl, on a picture disc. But they did the same for Black Panther, just on a regular black one. They released part of it. But this one's a triple LP set, so they obviously didn't release it all. So I assume there's going to be stuff on the Homecoming one when that comes out that wasn't on the picture disc. But I look forward to getting Guardians of Doctor Strange more, because there's been nothing of the score released. Oh no, wait, there has been some of the Guardians one released. There was the double LP set with the songs taken from the 80s on the first LP and then the score on the second one. So now I'm just saying, oh, I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange. Anyway, people who don't know Marvel are probably thinking, what the fuck are you on about? Next up, there are 2 more Marvel soundtracks to come out this year, not from Mondo, just regular releases from Disney. So we got the soundtrack for Spider-Man Far From Home. I really enjoyed this film. The score was decent. You know, it didn't blow me away, the score, but I'm a massive Marvel fan, so it's like, give it to me. This was a really good score, actually, and this is my favourite film of the year. I'm not going to lie. Avengers Endgame. I loved this film so much. The score was great. This is a picture disc as well, even better. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm not even going to talk about this film anymore because it's just pure amazingness, and I'll start to have a meltdown if I think about it too much because I love it. Disney also released... Is everything I've loved from Disney? No. I've got 4 other Disney soundtracks. They finally released Tarzan on vinyl. Thank God. Phil Collins' music for this is incredible. I love it so much. They need to do Brother Bear as well. I am more of a fan of Tarzan, I'm not going to lie. Me and my mates always have this debate, Tarzan or Brother Bear music. I go Tarzan all the way. And in terms of film, I'd go Tarzan. But, hey, do Brother Bear as well, because I still love that. They also released with it Princess and the Frog. I'm a big Disney fan. So, yeah. Got that one as well. There's some decent music in that one as well. I quite like it. Aladdin, the live action. Love this film. I love the soundtrack. It's great. I know that the film is very sloppy and it has a few issues, but it's Disney. You're meant to go there and have fun with this film. I don't know why people take this film too seriously. You know, and the music is great. I love it. Live action Lion King. Had to get the music from this. The Lion King, the original, is my favourite animated film of all time. Had to pick this up. So I picked it up. And you know what? I've had a great time with it since. And the last time up I have to show was a Christmas present from my sister. She got me the Peaky Blinders soundtrack. And now, for those of you who don't know Peaky Blinders, because I'm sure outside the UK it's a bit of a scarce thing. Although I do believe it's growing in terms of popularity. It's an amazing show about... a gang called the Peaky Blinders that were around in Birmingham around 1920. It's an amazing show and they just have amazing music in it. It's not the score, they have stuff like Arctic Monkeys. They had David Bowie Lazarus, because an episode aired right after he died. Richard Hawley. Stuff like that. Joy Division. It's a bit heavy at times and really dark, that soundtrack, but I love it. Well, wow. Those are all the records I bought in 2019. As you can see, once again, it's been another busy year for music with me. But that is it for this video, guys, as always. Next video up, the last one in my little end of year series, is going to be my predictions. What I'd like to see in 2020 in terms of... I think I normally just do studio albums, but this year maybe I'll do reissues or something, so I could talk about those McCartney archives. Maybe some more of those Mondo Marvel soundtracks. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it as always. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye-bye.